All right, guys, so today we are comparing nitro versus electric, and I think we have two brilliant 10th scale platforms here. The Kyosho KF01, this is the GP. This is actually a race car, carbon fiber chassis. This is the SP kit, so this is a very high-end, high-spec kit. This one I believe was discontinued either in 2012 or something like that. I'm not sure on the details, but it was a while ago. This one was discontinued even before then. This is the Tamiya. This is the electric brushless. It's a kit that you build. This is the F201, and this body that we have here is the Ferrari F2001. So these are great kits. Minor differences here, well, actually some major, such as this one is a four-wheel drive platform, this one is a rear-wheel drive platform. I think it would have been more fair to compare the KF01 to the F103 Tamiya chassis, which is kind of a similar older style F1 chassis with the wide body and kind of like the 80s 90s F1 cars, mostly 90s F1 cars. So both of them are fantastic. I love them both, really. I love electric, like I said, and I love nitro, but just running a nitro F1 car that has a 2-speed gearbox, that runs on actual fuel, that sounds great and behaves great, it's just the scale and realism is so much higher with this than this. So here's the Ferrari F2001, and this is going to be basically the first test. This is literally brand new after assembly. It's been with me for a while on a display shelf, so it's never really been run, but it looks absolutely beautiful. It is missing some Marlboro decals, like on the rear wing and on the front above the number 1 and things like that, also on the side. Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, this is the first run. It looks beautiful, and I can't wait to see how this thing drives. Again, the wheel nuts are color coded, blue for left and red for right, just as in the real thing. So let's see how it drives. I'm just gonna adjust the GoPro on the head mount. I might need to calibrate the steering. Yep. Oh, that's so cool. So nice. Looks great. I don't know if I mentioned, but this is a brushless motor, so it does have a little bit of, you know, extra power to the other F103 that we tried before. I might want to go with like a softer suspension setup in the front. Because this thing is all-wheel drive, there is a ton of understeer, like beyond imagination. Which is great for beginners. I mean, this car will handle fantastic. Because as a beginner with RC cars, you do want a little bit of like understeer to be on the safe side in order not to get that snappy oversteer to crash. Yeah, man, this thing drives so beautifully. Very impressed with it. Very cool. Very well balanced. Does feel a bit stiff in the front. Yeah.
Você tá vendo um vídeo de uma escova de dente tocando Billie Eilish.
Okay, so we lost the four-wheel drive, so now it's only front wheel drive for some reason. I'll have to check that out real quickly. I noticed that because the front wheels were spinning like crazy, and unfortunately these are grooved tires, and I think I kind of, well, not completely worn out, but pretty significantly worn out the front just with those 2 little pulls or 3 little pulls that I did. So I'm pretty sure I know where the culprit is. And then it spins the rear shaft and it doesn't spin the rear diff. So anyways, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be a big deal. I mean, there's such a massive difference between nitro F1 cars and the electric F1 cars. In my opinion, nitro is just way more fun as an experience. Obviously the electric is more reliable and cleaner and all that, but not really. If you dial in the nitro very nicely, it'll idle forever. If you take care of it, it'll last you just as long as the electric. And in cleanliness, if you route the exhaust the correct way, if you have all the gaskets sealed properly and all that work is done properly, you won't have much of an issue. So I prefer nitro by far more than the electrics, especially when it comes to realistic cars such as the Formula 1 cars and the GT cars and all that stuff. But that doesn't mean I don't love the electric cars. I just prefer and I enjoy the experience of the nitro RC cars a little bit more. And unfortunately, there's not much of them left in the market. The demand seems to be more electric, or at least that's what the companies want us to believe, that the demand is for electric. But I don't know, I still feel like people who, you know, grew up with motorsport, watching racing, or have experienced any kind of racing, once they get into the RC game, it's just much more rewarding and much more fun to, you know, just use and handle and control a nitro RC car, especially when it's a professionally built race spec car such as the KF01. I mean, those 2-speed shifts are just beautiful. Okay, we're gonna turn here. Whoop. Nearly lost it. I think we're running out of fuel. Yep, I knew it. I had a feeling. So yeah guys, that's the difference really between nitro and electric. I mean, I just compared two great platforms side by side. Unfortunately, both discontinued platforms, but I think as far as, you know, RC cars, they are really, really great platforms. One of the top 10 for sure. All right, guys, so that was it. We just put together side by side two brilliant, really, platforms: the Kyosho KF01 SP and the Tamiya F201. Despite the differences such as the four-wheel drive, the longer wheelbase, and the more kind of modern F1 design versus this kind of vintage F1 design, the Nitro to me really does have something special to it that you can never get with an electric RC car, specifically when it comes to like Formula Ones and, like I said, GT cars and stuff like that. There's just something special about it when you drive a Nitro car that's really built to resemble a scale race car, and it's just a wonderful experience, not just to drive but to watch, to smell, to listen to. A lot of your senses are actually being, you know, communicated with something like this. This is brilliant to drive and brilliant to watch and all that, but obviously, even though you're not driving the car, you can tell that there is a four-wheel drive system in this car. You